Hey Eddie, thanks for joining us. So, you are one of the quintessential entrepreneurs of the program we have here, and speaking to future entrepreneurs that they're going to be coming into the program. How would you take us through your background briefly, and then what your experience has been here so far?
Sure. Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity. I started out of undergrad. I went to school in Atlanta and graduated from Emory in 2003. I moved to Costa Rica originally thinking that I would eventually become an attorney, and I was taking a year off to sort of finish out fluency in Spanish, and I quickly got involved in real estate part-time, and then became a top agent in the area that I was living, Tamarindo. I was a coastal area with a real estate boom. I founded a real estate brokerage in 2006, and then my former boss asked me to come back as the managing partner of that company. I then founded a separate but closely related property management company as well, and continued to work in real estate in Costa Rica until I came back to Athens to do the MBA. I kept my property management company and still manage that on a daily basis. I have 14 employees in Costa Rica right now, and I'm also working on a marketing project called For Rent Costa Rica, which is an online platform for owners and managers of vacant properties to get tenant inquiries. With everything that the school had to offer, I quickly grew my marketing, grew the number of clients that were interested in our vacation rentals by about 50%, and then beyond that made some personnel changes and that sort of thing, and since then have recovered from the dip and have actually set some records. We set a record in July, we set a record in October this month.
So, Eddie, in your experience, do most of the students that come into the program for entrepreneurship, do they already have their own business going, or do they come in from a big business background and with the intention of starting one up?
In my experience, most of the students do not come in with an operating business. They may have a very strong idea of something that they want to do, but the entrepreneurship program is set up such that if you start with only an idea, and you can come from any background whatsoever, you may come from, an artistic background, it may be, something completely unrelated to the type of business you want to get into, that you have 2 years of essentially, free and highly motivated consulting to help you actually launch that company. So, some of my peers started companies essentially in the University of Georgia's Next Top Entrepreneur competition, and have grown those out and have actually had offers for equity investment and are building teams, and they started with nothing. So it can go either way, and I don't think any one particular background is going to either help or hinder in that regard.
What are some things that you think incoming entrepreneurs need to be aware of?
I think they need to be aware that they very much need to have an idea of what they need, what their weaknesses are. Try to build a network of people with across broad skill sets. Get to know an expert on web programming or marketing or finance, whatever those things are. While you're a student, people are so unbelievably willing to help you. The alumni here are really fired up about getting involved with students and will go out of their way. We have a number of Atlanta-based people that come up here during rush hour on Monday nights, and don't get home until 9 p.m. to work with us in the accelerator program.
What are some tips that you would give, or what are some words of caution you would give to incoming students that want to focus in entrepreneurship?
I think an entrepreneur's tendency is always to do too much and to take on too many activities. I can easily run myself into the ground here. There are far more opportunities than I can realistically take advantage of and leverage. The other thing is, I think you need to be aggressive about your networking. Try to reach out to people. you should be doing that anyway if you're an entrepreneur. It's not that, people are going to be jumping on top of you to help you if you don't ask. But if you ask and you're clear and say, hey, this is my idea, this is what I'm doing, there are tons of people that will help you out with that. In terms of classes, try to take what you're weakest in, There is an entrepreneurship track, and you'll basically build out a company if you go through that sequence. But in terms of everything else, electives and that sort of thing, try to take a broad array across finance. You'll do accounting, of course. I would recommend taking a bunch of marketing classes if possible.